Hello, this is Dr. Stanley Lang. Welcome to this video, and the subject of the video today is how to control hypertension naturally that is caused by metabolic syndrome. So how to control hypertension naturally that's caused by metabolic syndrome. So as in previous videos, the context for the discussion today, the brief discussion, is whole person health. That's health of body, mind, and spirit. And the idea here is that I think that the fastest way, the best way to a completely healthy experience is to focus on all three of these areas of our lives on a daily basis. So today I'm going to focus on a couple of these things and show you the integration of them. So I was seeing a patient who has been pretty active most of his life, and he wanted to know whether his blood pressure going up was because he was getting older. And so I did a dietary history, and one of the things that was really apparent was that he was eating lots of high glycemic carb snacks, basically at supper and after supper. And that was a daily habit for him. And he'd been doing it for a long time. And most of these snacks would fall into the what I would call not so nutritious category. But so I explained to him that what metabolic syndrome was, that after we eat these foods that raise the blood sugar quickly, that the body pumps out a bunch of insulin to try to get the blood sugar back down. And when it does that over and over and over many years, the body starts to become resistant to its own insulin. And so the insulin level rises more and more. And one of the signals that starts to happen from that insulin getting higher is the blood pressure starts to go up. So that we call metabolic syndrome when that phenomenon is going on. And that was probably going on in him because up to his mid-50s, his blood pressure had been completely normal, and now all of a sudden it's going up. And he wanted to know, well, is this just because I'm getting older? And I told him that in societies that eat a non-refined diet, that it is not normal for the blood pressure to go up as people get older. That's only found in societies where people eat highly refined foods as a big part of their diet. And as time goes by, this metabolic syndrome process starts. So the good news is that you can unplug this, and you can unplug this by simply stopping to eat the high glycemic foods. Now, the other part of his question, or the other part of his assessment, normally I try to see what the stress levels are in a person, because I know that that can be contributing in a big way to the high blood pressure issues that somebody's experiencing. In his case, he had had a conversion experience when he was probably 20 years younger, and so he had been happily living a Christian life during the last 20 years, and he felt like he was, if his life ended today, he would not have any regrets. And so as we talked more and more, it was clear that he really wasn't experiencing much stress in his life. So stress wasn't playing a role as it usually does in most people. Most of the time, I need to unravel the component of chronic stress if I want the blood pressure issues to completely go away, because chronic stress pushes the insulin resistance even worse. So if you don't address chronic stress most of the time, you can't completely reverse the metabolic syndrome stuff just by eating differently alone. So in this case, though, it's clear that he has one key, and it's if he starts eating right, his blood pressure is going to come back down without any medicine being needed. And so we talked about that. His plan was to go out the door and to see whether he was capable of making the initial changes. And then usually what I do is have somebody come back, and then we start to layer on some of the more critical nutritional strategies that are part of a good long-term wellness program. So I hope you found this little discussion helpful. God bless and have a great day.